Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for February 19th, 2026. We've got Empires and Corn Guilds today. And we've got Sacrifice, Trashing, only Trashing. Draw is Advisor, Enchantress, and Farrier Overpay, and Patrician can draw a bit. Plus actions, Crown and Sacrifice trashing in action, so a little limited on that front. And then gains, Soothsayer can gain golds, Capital is plus buy, Farmer's Market is plus buy, and Farrier is plus buy, and Stonemason can both allow you to gain multiple cards in the buy phase and can also gain cards through trashing. I guess I didn't mention Stonemason is trashing, but yeah. Okay, so Crown Capital is a thing. Capital by itself doesn't like net you any money turn over turn because it gives you as much debt as the money that it gives you, but Crown Capital nets you 6 coins, which is pretty good. Averages out to a loot essentially. Between the two cards, I mean. So that's something. It's not the most powerful capital synergy, but it is good. Farrier Overpay, obviously very strong, and will be a thing. We've also got Wolf Den to pay attention to. I don't think that's going to be too big of a problem. I would imagine wanting to play with a pair of Enchantresses. And then there's not actually that much more terminal-wise that we want to do. Like, we're going to want to play with Sacrifice, but other than that... Soothsayer, maybe. Soothsayer is nice because the golds you gain can be Stonemasoned into 5s. Or cheaper stuff than that, like Advisors or whatever. So that could be pretty relevant, actually. Having Farriers and Patricians and Emporiums in the deck is all good with Advisor, because your Advisor will draw, like, will have cards discarded, and then you can draw the rest of them with the cantrips. So in terms of the opening, I think Sacrifice looks clear, and then Farrier Overpay will guarantee that we see the Sacrifice, and we have a clean shuffle, barring that we do a Farrier Overpay turn 3, but... so that seems good. I think I'm just going to go for that. Bot opens Soothsayer. Okay, that's a little annoying. Because I don't want to be dealing with curses just yet. Okay. So... 4 coins down there. We could trash a state, get another Farrier trigger, another trigger shuffle, potentially hit 5. At the very least, have a short shuffle for the sacrifice, or to find the sacrifice in. Alternatively, I'm not really sure what the alternatively is, to be honest. Definitely want to get the estates out of the deck. I think we just go for another Farrier Overpay. Oh yeah, that'll trigger the shuffle too. Okay. So down there we have Sacrifice, Estate, Curse, Copper, Farrier. So we are going to trigger a shuffle if we want to play the Farrier. If we overpay by 4 here for another Farrier... Main value is that we're getting back around to the sacrifice faster. I mean, the alternative would be we buy something and we don't trigger the shuffle without the sacrifice. We got 7 stop cards here. We would draw 4 of them. Well, 5 of them with the farrier triggering the shuffle. I mean, that does seem pretty good. The problem is that we're kind of treading water in terms of like adding another good card to our deck. We need, like, if we were going to get another terminal, we need a crown. I think I'd rather aim to be able to get a good card next. To be able to get a good card next turn rather than not. I want to say than like skipping the turn. I don't know. I could be wrong, but. We could trash a copper here to hit 7. What would that let us do? Stonemason for Crown Soothsayer, maybe? That could make some sense. Yeah. I think I'm down for that. Buys a gold. You have a Soothsayer in your deck. Right? Well, that's not too great. I guess I'll trash a copper. Both of our terminals coming up. That's annoying. Do we even play this farrier? Because like I said, we do have Soothsayer coming up. The answer is no. I'm going to sacrifice another copper. Well, okay. Double trash or double curse? Double trash has the advantage that we get to do a bigger farrier overpay. We trash copper. I think I'm going to do that. Maybe even double trash copper. Okay, that seems a little premature. Probably crown the farrier, that way we can stonemason the curse. And I guess we pick up Patrician. I'd rather crown the sacrifice unless I draw a terminal, which I'm probably not going to do. Yeah, okay. How much do we care? Only trashed one estate, so Wolfden wise, we're probably still better off trashing estate. Well, and we don't want to trash estate with stonemason, so okay, that seems clear. Would you rather trash copper to get another patrician? Probably. Could really use another crown. Well, you get 2 crowns. Or crown capital. I think I'm going to get 2 crowns. Annex. I guess we do crown. Sacrifice or draw more cards? Let's say sacrifice. Well, we're getting thin, if nothing else. Okay. We could kind of use the double gold from Soothsayer. The last 2 cards are Sacrifice and Crown. So we can crown the Farrier and then crown... Yeah, okay, hold on. So we crown the Farrier, we draw Crown Sacrifice. We play the Soothsayer. Oh, then we don't... Yeah, we don't actually have the draw... well, whatever. Maybe we are going to have to do farmers market stuff. I don't know if the... I mean, the bots deck is overall pretty trash, but... Would really like to stonemason one of these golds. Could sacrifice something like a patrician. I kind of want to keep the patricians. I would rather sacrifice barrier. Just gonna crown the patrician. Okay, so if we sacrifice Farrier, play Soothsayer, or don't play Soothsayer, just Stonemason for Crown Capital first, actually. What else is down there? 2, 3, 4. Is it another farrier? It's not copper, it's not a curse. We trashed all that crap. Hmm. 2, 3, 4. Must be another farrier, right? So if the stonemason is on top, I think we don't need to sacrifice the farrier. Unless we particularly want to draw a gold that the soothsayer gains. Never did get to Enchantress either, it just occurs to me. Or like any of the draw cards, really. But we can start adding that stuff this turn, I guess. Yeah, alright, let's sacrifice the farrier. It is another farrier. Okay. So stonemason, gold for crown capital. Draw that up. Soothsayer to gain a gold. Draw that up. Crown the capital. That. And we could start going in for Emporium points, but I think I want to get an Enchantress going. I think I want some more draw. So like Advisor. Two Advisors. Maybe we can just throw in one more Patrician to prepare for that. And another Crown. Can't really have too many crowns, probably. Or we could just get another Advisor. Yeah, maybe the Advisor. We've got enough crowns from an action standpoint. We can stonemason for more for the capital stuff. The bot bought 2 coppers. That suggests that it thinks its deck is crap too. Okay, what all did we discard here? A gold, crown, an advisor, and a gold. So the patricians are going to be pretty good into the next shuffle. Good to know. Oh, I kind of forgot to buy stonemason. Why did I forget to buy I'm an idiot. I could have just stonemason for advisors. What was that? What was that? We do have another gold down here, right? Oh, maybe not. Yeah, okay. That's annoying. Oh, come on. Alright. Oh, we bottom deck both of the golds. I wanted to stonemason before I play the advisor. Jeez. Alright. Maybe it doesn't matter anyway. Alright, this should be crown capital again. And we don't quite have enough draw without using sacrifice to crown the Soothsayer and still draw, unless we also crown the Advisor. I think that's... Well, the Advisor... No, that's not true. The Advisor is going to draw 2 cards. So we could crown the Soothsayer. Excuse me. Alright, let's do that. Let's finish off the curses. Although, that does lower piles more. Does that matter? I mean, the bot doesn't have any gains to speak of. Yeah, probably. It does mean that Emporium points are going to be more annoying to utilize, but... Alright, so play Advisor, Patrician, draw all the stuff, play Enchantress, and actions. I guess enchanting the bot's Soothsayers isn't really helpful, and like the barriers, yeah, it's the Enchantress attack isn't going to do much, but the duration draw is obviously helpful for us. Crown, crown, capital, capital. Okay. So we have Enchantress as a unique, we have Soothsayer as a unique, we have Stonemason as a unique, we have Sacrifice as a unique. Which is why we're at minus 6 VP despite 6 VP chips. One more turn should be enough for us to like have like a pretty big capital megaturn sort of thingy going, crown capital thing. We get another, especially if we get another Stonemason and some more draw. So yeah, it could be, if we're trying to win next turn, then we don't necessarily want it like an Enchantress right now, for example. Because, you know, if we're not actually going to get value from it the following turn, then, you know, it doesn't really matter. The Soothsayer and the Sacrifice, we can both potentially Stonemason. So one thing we could do next turn is Stonemason Sacrifice into Enchantress Patrician. And that would kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I kind of like that. And not bother to get another Enchantress. We're going to want at least 1 more Stonemason, so we might as well Stonemason for Advisors, I guess. Yeah, the other thing about if we do the Stonemason for Enchantress Patrician thing is that we can potentially grab the Emporiums with a combination of Stonemason, trashing, Stonemason overpay. We can't afford to lower the Advisors much further, lest the bot do a Stonemason overpay. We could do it 1 more. We could do Stonemason for 2 Advisors, and the bot wouldn't be able to empty on Advisors. I guess we could consider getting another Soothsayer and just planning to use it to gain more golds to then Stonemason or whatever if we think we have the draw for that. I'm not sure if we do. We could like Stonemason for Advisor, Stonemason for Crown Soothsayer. It's not unreasonable. Wait, hold on. The bot does have farriers. It does have plus buy. I think it's really unlikely that it would be able to buy like Stonemason for advisor plus advisor or triple advisor, but maybe not worth taking the risk. In which case, I mean, honestly, we could also consider just taking double province. Like we have the money, obviously. I don't think there's any way the bot is going to hit double province, even with a 7-card hand. Or... We could do the Crown Soothsayer thing. Yeah, maybe let's go ahead and do that. The bot emptying crowns is even more expensive. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. Right now, we've got an extra 3 coins to spend. We could take 1 advisor. That. Again, I don't think the bot is going to be able to. Like, double Stonemason overpaid for advisors would be 12 coins. I guess that's not totally out of the realm of possibility. $14 coins for the crowns. Could also just take 1 province. We could also take the Patrician. Or even Patrician Emporium. I know I was talking about Stonemason into Stonemason the Sacrifice, but it doesn't have to be specifically Patrician that we gain. We could just gain 2 enchantresses if that is convenient or whatever. Now let's go with that. All right. I want to crown something. I guess we play a Patrician and see. No? Play 1 more Patrician. Oh my god. Alright, I'll play the Emporium. Well, we might have to sacrifice for draw. This has gone obnoxiously poorly. They discarded the patrician, not the crown. Okay. Instead of trying to do stuff with Soothsayer, we could crown, sacrifice, and trash both Soothsayers. It does limit our stonemason gains, but I don't know how much that matters. I mean, I guess it would depend on whether we're trying to win this turn or not. So, what would a win this turn look like? So, it would look like getting some Wolf Den points back for sure. We get the 4 Emporiums. Well, if we get 1 Emporium, that's worth 5 points. That puts us at 4 points. And then if we get 3 provinces, 18, that puts us at 22. I guess I'm not sure that we're going to have enough. If the bot hadn't provinced, I'd feel better about my ability to do that. But as it is, like, there's the potential to stonemason for a whole bunch of duchies. But I don't know that we can do all of that this turn. It seems tricky. Annex does help a bit. I guess there's also, like, Crown Capital gains... No, never mind. Oh, no, yeah. On the last turn, Crown Capital gains slightly more than 2 duchies. So, like, stonemasoning for that, if you can draw it, is better. I do not know what those last 3 cards are. We've played 3 advisors and maybe had 1 discarded. There's 1 that was discarded, as well as a crown. A patrician and a capital. And a patrician. One, two, three. So I think we do have an advisor in those 3 cards. Capital, patrician, crown, advisor. We have 6 crowns. We've played 2 of them. There's a third one, 4, 5, 6. So it should be crown, advisor, advisor in the last 3 cards, I think. Okay. Maybe we do need to crown the sacrifice. The other thing we could do is crown the sacrifice on stonemason if we want to keep the soothsayers, but I don't think that's correct. Yeah, because if we just play farrier and we draw a crown, then that's kind of done anyway. Okay. We drew crown advisor, crown patrician. I think that means everything down here is patrician drawable. We have a capital down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a crown down there. We have many golds do we have? It's the 3, okay. As I suspected. The other 2 cards. I'm confused. Discarded an advisor, we discarded a crown. We drew the advisor here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, there is another advisor down here. Oh, the advisor that we drew was the one that, yeah, okay. So crown capital okay, so we don't want to crown the advisor anyway. Just play that. Now we need to think about stonemason. This is going to get complicated. That last card, another crown. Oh, there was another patrician as well. Okay, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that last card is another crown. Okay. So we can stonemason 3 golds into 6 5s. Let's see. Does that set us up for a win? It would give us 8 cards that we need to draw. And we can crown the advisor to draw 4 of them. And then the patricians draw the other 4. And that still leaves us a crown for capitals. Farrier could also draw 1. That would leave us 1 card short on our draw. But depending on what we want to gain, like if we want to gain in at least 1 Emporium, that doesn't matter. So potentially we don't need to crown the advisor at all. Okay, so as before, Emporium is worth 5 points. And then turning golds into capitals is only netting 3 coins or whatever. It should be noted. So in that respect, gaining duchies is better if that's what we want to do anyway. Buy duchies. All right, I want to redo the math. So 18, this one is 17 plus 8 for the Emporiums. 17 and 8 is 25, plus the 3 Wolfden points is 28. Plus Wolfden points. So all we would need to do is empty Emporiums, get 3 provinces and an Enchantress, and we would win. Maybe there's other lines, but that would work. And there's also Annex if we have the buys, which we definitely would. Okay. So I think we just stonemason for 4 Emporiums and 2 capitals. And that should, like, surely we would have enough money at that point. We'd play the 4 Emporiums. That would get us to 1 money. We have 2 crowns. And we'd have 4 capitals. So those are all worth 6 coins each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 6 is 36. 3 provinces just cost 24. Yeah, that seems very doable. Okay. Gold to... We do have enough actions in play for the important points, yes. All right, we might as well play the advisor now. I might have undercounted my crowns too. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Enchantress. And then... Do we have any... We have one other unique. What is that unique? Sacrifice. Then we go... Duchy, duchy... State is no good. So we annex. Oh, sure. Yeah, so the bot super underbuilt. Again, I say again because it seems to be a trend recently. Like the bot underbuilding at all is not uncommon, but it super underbuilt here. Like, yeah, I don't know. Just looking at this board and being like, I'm not going to trash. I'm not going to play with crown capital. Like, I don't know about all that. It didn't even avoid negative Wolfden points, as it has the Soothsayer. I mean, I guess buying a Soothsayer and buying a second Duchy come out to the same thing, but the first Duchy should surely be a Soothsayer because, like, that's just better. I guess unless you specifically expect to get one more opportunity to buy Duchy. Maybe that's... No, that's not even true. Yeah, the first Duchy is worth 0. Okay, fine. And then, yeah, no, you should buy a Soothsayer before you buy Duchy, or second Soothsayer before you buy Duchy. But, okay, regardless of that, yeah, I don't know why the bot underbuilt so much here. Trying to think, like, if the bot had gotten one more province, we still would have had the win. Not by much, but we still would have had the win. And that's without even bothering to do anything with Farmer's Market, which we also could have done. It's like, that's the other thing, is that there is actually significant alt VP on the board as well. So, like, getting most of the provinces isn't necessarily going to be that big of a deal. Yeah, so overall, you definitely want to build here. Oh, Stonemason is the other thing. I underplayed Stonemason. Like, I know, if for no other reason than I didn't Stonemason overpay as much as I should because of that one turn, at least. But, like, the Stonemason gaining is also, like, really powerful here in conjunction with Soothsayer. So that's another thing that, especially if you're going to play with Soothsayer anyway, like, you want to have, like, Stonemason to turn those golds into better cards. As, I mean, the golds are okay, but there are definitely better cards, and you get 2 of them. Yeah, I mean, mostly, I think, like, the starting point is playing with Sacrifice and not just playing money. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And maybe the Enchantress, I don't know. Maybe I either should have gotten that earlier or shouldn't have gotten it at all. I don't know. It might have made a difference on this last turn. The last turn did not get off to a particularly hot start, so, like, the extra 2 cards there might have made a difference. But in the end, we had overdraw. But yeah, along the way, it was looking a little bit shakier. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.